Welcome everyone to TradePicks. It's Wednesday, November 13, 2025. And today we have real nice video for you guys. Penny stock battles in day trading. This is not for the faint of heart, as you know, it'll stop your heart. It'll go up and down. And the reason why is because it always involves losses, red days. And today we are green, but just barely. You'll see the roller coaster ride that we went through today, going down, losing more, down $200, and then raising up. So make sure you get advice and train on the simulator. Our P&L today was down $80, and that's not even the half of it. You'll have to see the video. Then we rose up to 73 plus, and we lost and came out with $27. We took 3 trades, TNMG, loser $80, and then CMND, which we made money. Our efficiency was the fact that we took 2 winning trades for average of $53, even though our one loser was only 80. And for the month, we're up about $45. So here's the TNMG, and this was around 5:51 a.m. I'm still not feeling it. I'm having health issues all this week, and so I didn't go live. And I shouldn't have been trading at all. I should have gone back to bed. But I came on here, and this is FOMO. This is a straight FOMO play. And we're watching it, and of course the scanners are going off. But it's pre-market. And what happens in pre-market is you're in with a lot of folks who have a lot of expertise, whose our focus is to take money out of the market. If you like our videos, like and subscribe. Costs absolutely nothing. It's totally free to hit that thumbs up button, and it helps the channel propagate the algorithm and push this out to other folks who may need help. Yesterday we helped someone, at least they acknowledged that we helped them. So if we can do that for one person a week, we have achieved a great goal. So we're watching it, and it's hovering around the 85-cent mark, and we're not seeing much of anything else. And I came in here, and this is very quick. I had just gotten on, just plugged everything in, get OBS set up, and I didn't look at the market. And had I looked at the market, I would have seen that it was slightly down, and that would have deterred me from having to take this trade. And the signs are obvious. Down at the bottom of my zero lag MACD, there's no trade there. But I got seduced by the fact that on the 5-minute chart, everything was green. So was the volume. And on the 133 tick mark, this looked like a very bullish and strong stock. And so I jumped in with 500 shares. And I actually wanted to take more. You know, retrospect, now I'm glad I only took 500. And it's staying up there. And once again, we bought high, expecting to go higher, right? And it does move up a couple of pennies, and for 500 shares, you know, that's good enough to get you some small wins. And as you'll see here, on the right-hand side in the active trader, you can see what the P&L is for this one particular trade. And we started to get to 87 cents, and we got in at 83. So that's like a 4 or 5 cent win. And we're near 18, 19 bucks right there. That was an excellent exit point. And notice I pulled back my mouse from the sell ask. We get to 21.75 profit, almost 88 cents. That's a first opportunity to get out, and this would have been a great trade. But FOMO and greed, being what they are, and being fooled by the charts, which is what happened to me. Here we go, second opportunity. It goes slightly down, goes back up again, and we have an opportunity to press the sell button there. Even if we lose, a cent or two, we still get out with a win. And I tried to put something in there, didn't get filled. Still would have been green. Very reasonable. And now we start to see red volume on the 1 minute chart. And that should have been a sign. It was a sign. Now we're down, $10, $12, and that's still reasonable. Typically, we can recover from something like that. But instead, we decided to hold. And part of it was my health issues as well. I was dealing with it right there and through it. And here we pick up again. We recover about $3 or $4. We're within $6, $7. And here comes an opportunity. Boom, right there. Sell out. You're out with a less than $5 loss. And the reason I'm highlighting these sections here, exit points, is because yesterday we talked a lot about, or I did, talked a lot about taking what the market gives you. And what that means is you let the market lead you. And the market right here gave us 3 opportunities already to get out with a minor loss. But the stubbornness in us, the greed in us, doesn't let us. It's the emotion, the hope. This is what you bought into here is a lottery ticket. And the chances of, perishing in a plane crash are more favorable than winning a lotto ticket. Just to give you an opportunity, go look it up. Look on Google and ask for the chances are of perishing in an airplane and winning the lottery. We're talking about billions. It isn't that easy. So if this happens to you, if you entered a bad trade, which we all are going to do, we're all going to enter bad trades. We're all going to be led, whether it's FOMO, whether it's emotion, whether it's the indicators were looking good, it doesn't really matter. We're going to take bad trades. And the best thing that you can do is figure out your assessment on how to get out. And it is very difficult and very hard to learn. Today, for me, was another repeat episode of what I had been doing 3 or 4 weeks ago before I started that 15-day green streak. And the reason why I've been losing money. And I also mentioned yesterday that hotter markets give me problems because I don't make the right choices. And today was another day where I made the wrong choice. And I wasn't in a focused mind to trade. Now here I'm down $33. It's still, you see me hovering the mouse over the sell bid button, and our zero lag indicator down there, MACD is red, plunging down. Our histogram is purple. Excuse me. And here my thinking is, oh, yeah, well, the histogram is purple, but it's going to pick up right now. It's not going to happen. And you should not assume that that's going to happen. You need to cut ties with loser stocks immediately. Immediately. It doesn't matter how much you've lost, but you need to cut it now. The reason I'm saying this is because you'll get to see something different in the next trades. Here's another highlight, another opportunity. Get out with a loss of $13, $15. So we had another opportunity where it climbed back up. We could have gotten out reasonably well. And there, the histogram is picking up. And our indicators are now telling us, no, just hang on in there. It might go up. And we're no longer using the indicators to trade. We're using our hope, our emotion, and only using the indicators to reinforce that we are making the right decision when in fact we are making the wrong decision. And it's very difficult to control this. I know. I'm in it almost every day. And the reason why we do this is because we want to make more money. We become unhappy with the $4, $5, $10 wins, even though they're green, and we want more. We want to pull more out of the market. And that's one of the reasons where our emotions get the best of us. You play with more shares, bigger wins, but bigger losses. And one of the things is, I remember I mentioned this before in one of my earlier videos I think in July when I first started. There was a place right as you entered Vegas many years ago, decades. And as you entered, it had a sign up on the top and it said 96% return on all slots. Think about what that means. That was their marketing hype. If you come in and you play in our slots, you're guaranteed 96% back. Well, how do you get 96% back? You have to play a whole dollar. You have to play 100% of your money, and you'll get 96% of it back. So that means that the establishment, was keeping 4%. So if you go in with $100 and you put $100 in the slot, you get 96 back. You put those 96 back in, you only get 96% of those 96. And so forth and so on, diminishing your money until your diminishing returns go down to zero. This is the stock market, folks. There are a few folks out there who have mastered the experience, mastered their emotions, and have built up a discipline of trading that allows them to make more money. They've made some money so that they can get better brokers. They can get faster internet services. They can put themselves in a position where they can trade and make thousands of dollars. If you're trading on a $2,000 account, a small account, you're not there. I'm sorry to say, I'm not there. We are not there. We have to suffer with what we have. They're using Ferrari type computers and Ferrari type speed internet and software to get in and get out very quickly and very rapidly. They're perhaps I'm on the older side, so I can afford to say this. As you get older, your reflexes change. They become slower. By the time my brain tells my hand to click a sell, 3 seconds have passed and I'm down $15-20 or maybe even more. So finding that edge. The other thing is that I've also discovered in trying to manage my emotions, the way to do that is to calm myself, truly sitting at the computer in a meditative state, because you have to calm all those emotions. You can't let those emotions surface. So you calm yourself down, slow your heart rate down, and that way you can be zen-like right in front of the computer, and then you don't get those little tidbits of emotion, those little bits of FOMO. You don't let them surface. You let them suppress. But we are still humans, and we can't suppress those emotions forever. You can't take enough Xanax to be, zen-like and emotionless in front of the computer to be able to trade, because then your mind won't be able to focus. And eventually what happens is that FOMO, all those emotions are pent up and they want to come out. And at the worst moment, they'll come out like they did for me today. And you'll wind up going through periods like this. And today would have been a huge disaster if the market was not willing to give us a little more, and specifically in the penny stocks, be a little hotter. So The the thing we can take away from today is that we don't want to hold stocks for long periods of time. We want to wait for our entries. If we get the opportunity to exit because the market tells us here's a good point for you to exit, you're gonna lose money, but it's a good point, a place for you to exit. We got to take it. If it's green, ooh, we definitely want to take that. And we can't be greedy. If your goal is, oh, my goal is $150 a day to 200. Well, if you're in a trade and you're up $20, take the $20. You know, $20 is better than being down, what, $50 right now as I am down in this trade. And this is pre-market 606. And obviously what I'm thinking here is, boy, was I stupid. Why was I trading pre-market when we saw a good open yesterday? And that's what we should have waited for. But of course, yesterday I only made 45 cents. And kudos to the folks on the LPTX who made lots of money. I think I may have mentioned it in the live, but I saw that LPTX had room to 378. But I didn't want to say it on the live because people might think, oh yeah, I looked at my indicators and I looked at the charts and he's right. It could go to $3, so I'll buy in. And then the stock doesn't go there. I'm not giving advice to anyone. I'm only making assumptions and I'm only communicating what's in my head. Okay, so don't, when I'm live, don't believe that that's my advice to you. Don't follow my screens. Don't duplicate my trades because they're 15 seconds behind in YouTube. And you could potentially, imagine you duplicate my trades. If I was live today, you'd be down just like me, unless you had that control in that, control your emotions enough to the point where you would discipline enough to exit. And see, right here, we're headed down to the two prior resistance lines. And here I'm thinking, well, you know what? Resistance turns into support once the stock moves of it. But look, that's a big old Christmas tree there. Actually, looks like a little camping tent, right? And here I'm thinking that it's still going to go up. And we bought in at 83 and we're now down to 68. And what happens? We finally decide to get out. And this stock, I think, went down as low as 38 cents after this. And I don't know that it's recovering. There might have been other stocks after today, after this morning. So the market hasn't yet even opened at 6:08 p.m. Pacific, 6:08 a.m. Pacific. I'm sorry. And here, what I'm hoping for is I'm still looking at the histogram and I'm seeing it slightly move up, and I'm thinking, oh well, maybe there's an opportunity, but yet on the 5-minute, you see that big red candle there of volume. And likewise on the 133 tick mark chart. So needless to say, the fact that I'm down $70 sends my heart rate higher and making the health issues worse. So yeah, day trading is not for the faint of heart. And you will have days like this. They're going to happen. And eventually you're going to have to tell yourself, you know what? I'm doing it all wrong. I need to get out and cancel before anything happens. And if you still have settled funds, you can go back and you can try to climb back out of this. So a $60, $70 loss, $80 loss, what you would need to do is take another 10 small trades making six bucks, 10 trades, making $4 or $5 and get 50 of it back, and then your day won't be as bad. And that's how you mitigate a huge loss like this. But as I showed you, as I highlighted, we had 3, 4, almost 5 potential exit points, and those would have all been under $15. A couple of them would have been green, and we wouldn't be in a situation where we are now, where we have to try to recover from such a huge loss, or not even take the trade at all, to the point where all the other winnings or any subsequent trades and green gains that we make would have been a plus value. Because eventually I do wind up making $27 on the day, but I have to make up the 80 that I lost. So I could have had $100 day, was it not for this trade in pre-market. And here what I'm thinking is, you know what? I think this is going to go back up again. I'm going to go in with 2,000 shares, and even if I only get 4 or 5 cents, I can recoup my losses. I'm doubling down. And I'm glad I did not. I finally, clarity starting to hit in at this point. And this was also an exit point. Look at that, $54. Exit here, you're down $50 instead of the 30, instead of the 80. And add those 30 to the 27 we won, we wind up with almost a $60 day positive. So the market will always be there. There will always be other trades. Do not let this happen to you. Don't try this at home, kids. Here, I finally, when it crosses that fuchsia color line, I know it's done. So we exit our Christmas tree. So CMND was also making noise while we were looking at TNMG. And we were kind of watching it, but I wasn't paying attention to it, perhaps because it was at 40 cents. But we had that penny stock yesterday go all the way almost to 3. And we had this one early in the morning, TNMG, also make good moves. And now this one was making a move. And I briefly looked at the news. I to tell you the truth, the only word I read was Jerusalem. So something about an Israeli company, I would imagine. And but what I liked about this, I had not checked the daily. You'll notice there's no resistance or support levels marked, and it's only 6:13 a.m. And that big orange line there, I think that's the 200. Oh no, it's a zigzag line. So it's going level across. And I'm watching the histogram on zero lag, and we've had our share of lower lows, and now we're starting to climb up a little bit in volume, and it looks like it is a good opportunity. But this was a revenge trade. I'm going in for 2,000 shares as a revenge trade. I tried to get in at 44, couldn't. Finally get in at 45, I think, on buy market. And right off the bat, we're making a little money with 2,000 shares. A penny or two goes a long way. But by the same token, with 2,000 shares, a penny or 3 down is going to create problems. And all of a sudden, guess what? We just lost $80 on the first trade. And we were talking about getting out quickly. And what did we do? It looks like we didn't learn, huh? Another disaster. We're down $140 at this point. Can you believe it? And this is the lack of discipline, the lack of control, and the lack of focus. And it's revenge trading because you want to get your money back, right? We traded 1,000 shares last time. Well, maybe if we pick the right one this time, we pick the right ticker this time, and we go in with twice as much, maybe we can make more money. And here I finally go in and start taking a look at the daily, and I like what I see. It's down at the bottom and it's got plenty of room. And now I see that it's got room all the way up to almost $1. I don't know how high it went. And this is what I was talking about, that you take a trade and you start making a little bit of money, and you have an opportunity to exit. At least it went up there, I think, as much as $22. $22 would have reduced the $80 loss down to 40, which is not great, but acceptable. And certainly not insurmountable. Because if you're down $40 on one day, over the next 3 days, you can take, small share size and look for small green days of $8, $9, and you can also make inroads on that. But here, it starts looking good, and now we have an opportunity to get out. Look, that's a huge win. And we're looking to sell. And we're going to have an opportunity now to almost recover what we lost. We get like a double top up there. But we still think it had legs. We had an opportunity to get out there. 86 was pretty high. Back at 86 again. And we finally get out. Did we? We sell 1,000. Sold half. We're up $96, $98 right there. Could have gotten out there. Didn't. We waited a little bit. Turns red. We sell out again. We made $88. So we made back everything we lost. That's a terrific day. And I think at this point, we were up like $7 or $8, I think. Yeah, because we lost 80 and then we made 88. And this is a take a deep breath moment. Wow. And that's the way you recover, and that's the way a good trade should go. Monitoring what's going on, picking the right entry and the right exit. Not the way the other one went. So now think about this. We made $88, and had we only lost 13 on the other one, we'd be up almost $60, $70. There's an area here where we're continue to watch CMND, but I sped it up 400% so that we can go a lot quicker through it before I take the next trade. So thinking that perhaps that this stock may have good legs, and it might be the one. It might replicate what happened yesterday with LPTX, which was a huge mistake on my part. Guess what I do? I get greedy. I see an opportunity here to make another $80. And right off the bat, we're down. And we buy at the top again instead of waiting for the pullback. And now the $88 that we made turns into minus 60 and very quickly deteriorates down. And we should have seen it. I mean, there's two red bars up there and a green bar that tell us that's a triple top. And that even if it has the strength, it's going to fall back. And we're at 6:23 Pacific. We're 7 minutes away from the open, market open. And folks are going to start taking their profit. And look at that, down 102 bucks. So from a positive green recovery, we went from red to green to red again. And now we have no choice, right? We don't have the amount of cash to try to recover from an $80 loss. And what is our option? Only one option is to hold. And from here to the open for 6-7 minutes, there is absolutely no technical information, no technical data telling us that that you should be in this trade and that you should be holding. And greed and revenge trading are emotions that you will need to master so that you don't take these types of trades. And it's so easy to see a stock moving up and say, hey, I want to lasso onto that and let me go up there. Hold me with you. But these are wild bulls and wild bears, and they're going to take you for a ride. So today was a really roller coaster ride. From being up 20 bucks to down 80, then recovering, being up 8 bucks, and now we're back down again. Yeah, there's still a good opportunity here. Not bad. We're up 25 bucks. So that means we've only lost 50 on the day. It's also not a bad place to exit, even though the trade went sour. But what happens when you hold? You only lose more money. And here are reversal indicators telling us, nope, it's going down. You better get out. And what do? We continue to hold on hope. 5-minute chart is red volume, red bars, jackknife down. The 133 tick mark is jackknifing down. And look at that, $205 down. Now, we're down 200 plus the 80. So we're down almost 300 bucks. I was looking at the P&L for the day that Thinkorswim has. We got as low as $300 down. This was a disaster of a day. The only saving grace we had was that there's nothing else was moving. TNMG had sold off. NVEE had still, that didn't move up until later. SGBX did move up a little bit, but it was only a little bit. So the penny stock are definitely hotter this week. But we've seen that pattern before. If you remember, about 5-6 weeks ago, that's the way it started. We started to see the penny stocks really take off, and then a couple of weeks went by, and then we saw a couple of stocks were really, really high, and then the market turned down again. So here's another one. Look at that, $213, 16, 20, 23. I think we get as low as minus $330 down. And if you're watching this, I'm not showing you this because I want to show that you too can live through this. No. This is a mistake. Huge mistake. It's a $300 mistake, and that's a lot of money for anyone. I see some of the high rollers in YouTube easily lose 300, 400, even $1,000. They can afford to. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their accounts. For most typical folks, even if you have $25,000 in your account, a $300 loss will bring you below PDT. And we see no signs of the 2000 PDT rule kicking in as of yet. So it could probably be months before that comes in. And the worst thing about a small account, like anything under 5,000, is that $300 takes, and especially for 2,000 or below, $300 is going to kick you in the butt because it's going to take away all the purchasing power, a lot of purchasing power that you have. And that's a problem. Because now you're stuck reducing share size, and now you're really stuck at only making small gains, and waiting for that potential big loss, which you know is coming. So I got lucky today because I held this, even though it came to here, but I had a focus that I didn't mind losing $300 today, because I don't know why I was thinking that. Maybe because I could afford to lose it. But I got lucky. And I held it to the open and thinking, maybe it has a recovery in it. Maybe folks will jump in because it's very low priced. And that's what happens. But this is a one in a lifetime, I think, situation. I've never had this happen before. I've had $300, $400 losers before, and it hasn't been like this. So once I'm seeing it here, and I'm still down $200 on the day, I decided, you know what, if this jackknives, I need to put a stop in. So I do put a stop in at 40 cents, and then I start removing it once I see it that now I'm within $50 earshot of turning green again. There's a little pullback here, but I decide to continue to hold. I was thinking of selling 1,000 here, but I said no. 1,000 is a lot if this moves up another 6-7 cents. But I did put a couple of stops in there, and I almost got taken out. Look at how close that was. This would have been a $160 loss day if I had put that in, so I decided to take it off. I wasn't about to get taken out, and it's a good thing too. If you like our videos, hit that like, subscribe if you want. We're not going to go to your house and knock on your door. We're not going to take your packages away. And we got lucky here. Look at that. We're within $15 of recovering within that trade. We'll go up and we will recover, and to boot, make $27 on the day. This is definitely a hot market. Do not expect this to happen tomorrow or next week. Be cautious and be safe.